first second of the 30 days of Christmas. And I'm here to share. I started last week on the 24th of November, and we're going to be doing in preparation for evolution, for growth. Not going to say specifically for the new year because that's a line in the sand. Life is a continuation. Nothing just ends on December 31st and begins on the 1st. Yes, by the calendar, it's new, but basically, your life continues to evolve, and one step leads to the next step. And I want to help you understand that that mindset will really prosper you and propel you to start, scale, sustain the business and life of your dreams. So, we're doing the 5 C's from the Propel program. Last week we did clarity. Before you can really start anything, you have to really be clear on your passion of why you're doing it, that why. What is going to really drive you to continue it? The 5 C's actually are clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and compassion. So last week, you can go back and you can listen to the 5 days that we did on clarity. But this week, we're doing courage. But today, is Giving Tuesday. And I didn't want to just jump over that and ignore that. I wanted to think to tie it together with the aspect of courage, because as we spoke about last night, that courage is a muscle and it is built and it is going to help you to uh, sustain, because the reality of courage is that it is an internal knowingness uh, from the challenges that you experience. And once you, again, have that clarity, you know, as you know, as you know this is what you're going to do. Now, is truly going to evolve and change, and it will look differently as time goes on. But the foundation of what you want to do, whether it's to start a ministry, start a business, write a book, do a podcast, create, a new garden in your home, uh, to sustain, food that you want, organic food. I mean, whatever you want to do, your business and life. Now, that is, you have to have that burning desire to do that. And no matter what, as Napoleon Hill says, to burn the boats, that you are so clear. So once you're clear, though, on that, it's truly, um, this is where the rubber meets the road. So many people abort their mission because they don't have that courage muscle. They start to, and we spoke about this last night, they start to second guess, am I prepared? Do I have enough money? Am I, you know, smart enough? Am I clever enough? Do I have the background to do what I'm doing or want to do? And those things, the lie of the enemy, so to speak, is what is going to throw water on that dream, goal, and desire that you're clear that you want to do. Like I knew, as I knew that back in the 70s, I knew I was going to create something in the a beauty arena. I wasn't sure what that was going to be. Initially, I thought it was going to be creating you know, a to be a fashion designer, but that didn't come together. But I worked in the industry, and I was working for a company called Biba in Bloomingdale's, and they had positioned it in the junior department. So they and offered me the job to manage it, and I was trained as a makeup artist by the Biba Corporation from London, and I learned so much from that. And really, at that time and juncture, I realized that this is what I'm going to do. Not necessarily a color cosmetic line, but that I was going to create something in that arena. And so it took a long time because I had to work and learn about so many things about building, starting a business, creating in sales and marketing and so forth. So I worked for two separate different corporations. I went into the wholesale beauty industry and worked for, as I said, two separate companies. I speak about this in my TED Talk. So you can go to my as I my colleague Angeline Moore calls it a sparkle tree. It's a link tree, and you go to propel.megandimartino.com/info, and you can find the TED Talk there. But anyhow, um, it took many years. I could have truly aborted the mission by that double talk in your brain saying, "Oh, how can I ever do this? Who am I to think I could do this?" Um, One of the reasons why it was imperative to prepare, and that's an important thing, but it is also the step by step experience, so to speak, that built that courage to know that when I was ready to do it, and it was 20 years later, that I was ready to do it, that I prepared to actually do that launch, actually to leave my corporate job and to start my first brand glycolique. So I had to build that courage muscle, or I could not have sustained the challenges that was faced with and continue to be faced with and continue to be faced with. I mean, it's never ending. Never, never. So, what I want to combine the aspect of building that courage muscle with Giving Tuesday in this Christmas season is that you don't need to be rich to give. And but the correlation between giving and courage is that as you are others oriented, you will then also build the understanding that it's truly beyond you, that what you want to do, as the Lord came, Jesus came to this planet to live, to teach, and to die for us. That was the ultimate gift. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about prestige, or he surely wouldn't have done that. It was about giving and uh, ushering in because he had to die so that and raised from the dead for the Holy Spirit to come here and be our guidance, our what is truly I couldn't do every day without listening to the for the inner quiet small voice of the Holy Spirit. So giving, as I said, you don't have to be rich to give. It's just being others oriented and being aware of others and their needs. Again, not necessarily giving money, but just being compassionate, being there for others to listen, to share, to encourage, to inspire. So, to me, that is the correlation between Giving Tuesday because it is about being aware of others, being others oriented, which is the greatest gift and that we could give someone. But it's also helping to build that courage muscle. And so it just tonight, I just would, as I say every night, to write down, keep that journal, do it this month, really build that habit. They say it takes 30 days. Well, here you go to build a habit. So write it down, your vision, your mission, your goals, what you want. And then from last week, we spoke about that. This week, we're talking about courage. Write down what you're concerned that might hold you back. You know, as we said last night, that I'm just going to read this to you. Um, what you let's say it correctly. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. And what's really interesting to me about that one about what you feel, you know, because we're so unaware of our feelings, meaning because they're so fleeting, they come, go, and so forth. And so it's what you feel you attract. And we spoke about this last night about, that attracting. So you have to be vigilant on what you really see and visualize because you will become that. What you think, you become. Thoughts are things, and what you feel, you attract. So it's very important, when you're really ticked off at somebody or something or a circumstance, let it go. Because if you hold on to that, then you will become and you attract things that are from that energy place. We are a physics problem. So tonight, I just want you to focus on gratitude, what you're grateful for, and that is the greatest elixir to overcome any. Because what I used to say to my staff when they were talking about a negative with my luxury day and medical wellness spa, Navita Spa on the Square Medical Rejuvenation Clinic, when they would say, "Oh my gosh, that person was so nasty," and so forth and so on. And I'd say, "Could you imagine being her or him?" Meaning how they were feeling. So what I was trying to teach them is not to attach or be connected to that negative energy that that person was giving off. Dispel it. I used to call them back if they, let's say, gave them a hard time, they weren't happy with this, that, and the other thing. And I would call them and just say, "I'm so sorry." And they were shocked that I would even take the time to do that. And whatever service they may have had, I said, "Would you like to come back and enjoy another service?" They couldn't believe I was offering that. So it's that giving that you learn to up level from negativity that is going to pull you down. And that energy is what truly will stop you in your tracks from building that courage to overcome and to keep going because it is part of life. So, thank you guys for coming tonight. Um, Sorry I wasn't with my glasses on here. Michael, hi, and Raven just joined, and we're just doing what I called 30 Days of Christmas, Raven, preparing you for a new beginning, so to speak. And that doesn't necessarily mean the first of the year. That means of whatever you want to do. Megan DiMartino, I have started many businesses and sold them. And I've been in the beauty wellness space. I have a medical clinic. We do regenerative stem cell and other regenerative modalities. And I'm an esthetician by license. Product developer, and I had put together a program for you called the Propel Your Business and Life Activation Program. It's on my link tree, propel.megandimartino.com/info, and join the Propel community. But on that link tree is my TED Talk, my book, the Propel program, but the Propel community is at no charge. So do go there, join, and you'll receive so much. And by the way, these are there archived for you every day, meaning you can go back and listen to last week's um, 30 Days of Christmas. I started on November 24th. So we'll do this through December 24th. And it was 5 weeks. And so the Propel program is based on the 5 C's. There's 5 workbooks, 5 videos, a program to work together with me, and clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and compassion. So this week we're talking about courage. And so today is the second day of that. So, but it happens to be Giving Tuesday, so I wanted to tie that together because it really has a tremendous correlation to building that courage muscle. So that's what we're doing. So do subscribe and invite others to join us and join me. And do a comment because it does help people to find this. And again, you can go back and watch here on YouTube, but when you join the Propel community, they are there. So propel.megandimartino.com/info, and you can join us there. I'm starting a little shopping channel on Instagram and Facebook. My Instagram and Facebook tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. And I have a vintage clothing business as well. I love fashion. As I shared earlier, that was my first vision. But I could see that being a designer was not what I was going to do, a fashion designer, but have worked in that world my entire career. So anyway, I have a vintage clothing, designer clothing and accessory business, also my skincare brand. And I mentioned regenerative stem cell. I work with this company with their amazing technology of stem cell activation uh, patches that is on my hand there. So we'll talk about it tomorrow night. So do join me. I'll still do my 30 days. Absolutely, absolutely. Once I commit to something, I do it. So this is what we're doing until December 24th. I do lives all the time, but this is a focused on the 5 C's to prepare you to evolve. So I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow. And hopefully on Instagram and Facebook, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, US. Be blessed.